Okay, first let us recite the mantra. Page 31, our Sutra mantra. Okay, so the question is the question with which we start the first session is twofold. One is what are the internal factors? The second question is how to get rid of these internal factors once identified. First, what are the internal factors? Two internal factors. One is the cognitive factor, and the other one is affective factor. Cognitive and affective. Cognitive meaning ignorance. Cognitively you misperceive the reality. That is ignorance. Technically it is known as self-grasping ignorance. Cognitive factor, which is self-grasping ignorance. And then number two, the affective factor, which is self-centered attitude. Self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude too. And our job is, first we have to identify, don't just solidify these two things as one. These two are very different. And some people, they may see these two things as one. And this is where we need a more refined study. Self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude. Okay, tell me, what are the two internal factors? Self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude. Now let's say, for example, let's say how many of you like flowers? Raise hands. Okay, how many of you flowers so? Raise hands. Flowers so. Huh? So meaning? Okay, if there's flower, it's fine. But if there's no flower, I'm not really crazy after the flower. Okay, how many of those who are crazy after the flowers? Raise hands. Crazy after the flowers. Okay, how many of you are not really crazy after the flowers? Okay, let's half. Now let's say that okay, raise hands. Who said that I'm crazy after the flowers? Okay, let's say okay, Shabira, right? And let's say who says that I'm not really crazy after the flowers. If they're good, if not, they're fine. Okay, Sanika. Okay, let's say that I'll bring this up. I asked Shabira, what is this? So all those who are crazy after the flower, you should give the answer. Right? When I asked to Shabira, who represents you? Shabira, what is this? Flower. Here's Sanika, who is not really crazy after flowers. Go more into physics. What is this? Tell me, the two answers are the same or different answers? That is the cognitive answer is the same. Cognitive perception objects is the same, both of them. Cognitive meaning that this is flower, this is not flower. That identification is the same. You getting it? Yeah. Okay, now affective. Affective is the affinity. Affinity.
So beautiful.
No, I don't know. Answer the question. She's really crazy. Shabira is really crazy. Before I ask questions, somebody will explain it. Okay, tell me, just describe this. What is this like? Huh? Shabira, now? What is this like? So beautiful, appealing. Okay, Sarika, what is this? Look, it's like any other. Okay, look. One has affinity there. So beautiful. Affinity there. That is the affective. But the affinity is not there. This is just the cognitively these two are same. Both sides have the same. Cognitively, both are same. Both sides have the same. But the difference lies is the affinity, affective. So when you say that, okay, yeah, there's a flower there. I like it. This is the affinity or the affective. Self-grasping ignorance is cognitive in nature. Self-centered attitude is affective in nature. You're getting it? There's a huge difference between the two. One is that this self, okay, let's say that we're dreaming. You're dreaming, and then, by the way, how many of you like cheesecakes? How many of you like cheesecakes? Huh? Who are crazy after cheesecakes? Okay, who likes cheesecakes? That's amazing, man. More people, they're not really interested in cheesecakes. That's interesting. Venerable, what do you like? Huh? Black Forest. Okay. How many like Black Forest? Raise hands. No? Okay. Black Forest. Yes. Okay. Okay, Bengal is Black Forest. Black Forest. No? Madhika? That's interesting. Okay, let's say Black Forest, right? Black Forest. So let's say that you are so crazy after Black Forest, and you did not get Black Forest for the last 6 months. And then after this class, you go to bed and you start sleeping over Black Forest. Your mother coming over there, Black Forest. Are you happy, not happy? 6 months I've not seen that, I'm so happy. You're getting it? I like to have it. I like to have it. Okay, first, okay, so what is this? What is this? First you ask, Mom, what is this? The mother said, this is Black Forest. Okay, Black Forest. I said, this is Black Forest. Yes, I like it. Okay, 2. 1, this is Black Forest. This is cognitive or affective? Cognitive. Then I like it. What is this? Affective. 2. You're getting it? 2. And then the mother says, you're not interested. Yeah, it's fine. Black Forest is fine, right? Well, she knows that it's Black Forest, but affinity is not there. For the Mangdula, cognitively, Black Forest there, and then effectively, I like it. Both are there. And both of them wake up. Wake up. So the first is a Black Forest. You still think that it's Black Forest, or is it dream Black Forest? Huh? Dream Black Forest. Okay, dream Black Forest, does it exist or not? Dream cake, does it exist or not? Okay, dream cake exists. Dream cake does not exist, raise hands. Okay, dream cake does exist, raise hands. Okay, dream cake does not exist as a real cake, but it does exist as a dream cake, raise hands. Therefore, dream cake does exist, raise hands. Okay, so now many people change their mind. So dream cake does exist, although it does not exist as a real cake. It does exist as a dream cake. Okay, now, say in the dream, you see the dream cake as real. That is cognitive or affective. Cognitive. When you wake up, you realize that that cognitive mind is erroneous. It's not the real cake. You getting it? Okay. So the first one, the self. This self is not like a dream. It's so real. This is cognitive error. this self is seen as so real, so solid, so solid. This is the cognitively erroneous mind. This is self-grasping ignorance. Then the next one is, this self is so important. Like, I like this cheesecake, I like myself. This self is so important. That is self-centered attitude. One which says that this self exists real, like the dream cake as a real cake. That is cognitive error. Then, I like this cake. That is affective error. Error there too. So the self-grasping ignorance is one which mistakes the nature of the self, seeing the self as objectively real, seeing the self as independently real, and then having affinity to this. Therefore, this self is so important. This self is more important than others. This self is more important than others. I like this self which is more important than others. This is affective error. This is self-centered attitude. These two are the ones which create all our problems. Okay, I'll give you one example. Some of you may remember, about 4 years ago, one boy whose motorbike happened to be lying on the side, on the road, and the one bus drove close by it and scratched. Just create a scratch, not really damage, just a minor damage. Create a scratch to the bike. And the bike of the boy who must be like 22 or 23. This boy was so angry, so angry. Angry over what? Angry over what? That it created just a scratch, a line on his bike. He became so angry. He went to the bus driver and he put on the bus driver and started to, Okay, so the boy was so angry and then pulled down the bus driver and started to beat the bus driver, and then eventually killed the bus driver. This was a real story that happened 4 years ago. Okay, just imagine. Just think of this. And then what happened? The boy and the mother of the boy, the mother who told the boy to beat the driver more. Both of them ended up in prison. This is a real story that happened in Delhi. Both ended up in prison. Both ended up in prison. Okay, tell me, this boy, this crash can be fixed within 1,000 rupees. Easily can be fixed within 1,000 rupees. Now, this boy is going to lose, say in prison, one is going to lose the job. With the job, he's going to lose, if he's earning like maybe 50,000, or in some cases maybe like 1 lakh, right? He's going to for 12 months, he's going to lose all this money, 12 lakhs of rupees, or it is like 6 lakhs of rupees he's going to lose. And then, later on, do you think that he's going to get a job? No. Bad reputation. Criminal record is there. So he's not going to get a job for the next many years. And then on top of that, his mother is in the prison. Right? So, if this boy is told, way before this accident happened, way before this crash happened, if this is a scenario that happened, would you kill this person, you end up in prison with your mother, or you will you will ask for the person to just give 1,000 rupees, or just let go of that and take and pay 1,000 rupees and fix it? Which will you do? For sure, the person will say the second. Boy will not say that I'll go to prison, I'll kill this boy. He will not say this. But why did he do that in the actual event? Why did he kill the person? Because of the anger. This anger gave him a false strength. This anger. This anger came in the facade of protecting him, in the facade of giving him strength. What strength? Strength to destroy himself, the strength to destroy his own mother, and the strength to destroy the bus driver, and the strength to destroy the whole family, the wife, the children, the parents, put them into intense grief. Put your family into intense grief. What made him to do that? Because of anger. What made him to have this anger? Self-centered attitude. I don't care about this person. I don't care about this person's the families. I don't care about even my mother and my family. This is the self-centered attitude. So this self-centered attitude, it gives us a very strong false strength. False strength for what? To destroy ourselves. So therefore, self-centered attitude is the one which is the cause of all our problems. Then number two is the self-grasping ignorance, which misperceives the reality. Then the self-centered attitude, which act on this misperception of the reality by the self-grasping ignorance. So self-centered attitude, self-grasping ignorance, and self-centered attitude, these are the two internal factors which are the cause of all our destructions, all our pains, anxiety, stress, anguish, all our problems are because of this. For example, let's say the mother and the child, or husband and the wife, or the parents, and when the child is, for example, let's say when the child makes a little mistake, then the parents, some parents, they just shout at the child. And the child, in some cases, the child really literally shrinks. Is this what the parents want of their child? That the child shrinks? If it is not for the parents, if it is not the parents, just imagine from where in this world the child can expect love and affection. If not from the parents, from where can the child expect love and affection? Only source of love and affection, even that person does not understand the child, and then shouts at the child and makes the child shrink. Likewise, if the children, when they grow a little older, like age 16, 17, 18, and 20s, they shout at the parents, and the parents shrink. Parents at that age, after all these many years of raising you, after all these many years of hardship that they went through, in saving, and spending everything on you. And the children, they go by flight, and the parents go by trains. Children go by taxi, and the parents go by bus, or the tuk-tuk, the two-wheelers. This is how the parents do for you. And then finally the children, they reach the age like 20, 24, like this, children, and they simply shout at the parents, and make the parents shrink. If it is not from you, in this world, where can the parents expect love and affection? After them having to invest all their energy, resources, time on you, and finally you become self-sufficient, very educated, strong girl, strong boy at that age, then it is sheer self-centered attitude that you are blinded of seeing the reality. If somebody, and meanwhile we have to acknowledge that we do love our parents, that parents do love the children, but in the children, when they grow older, they do love their parents. How can I know this? Had it been the case that somebody else abuses your parents, you will be the first person to fight against that person, which means that you don't like to see that your parents are suffering because of somebody else's abuse. But why are you doing it yourself? You're blinded of seeing this reality because of the self-centered attitude. So this is destroying your parents. And then later on, when your parents really go through difficult times, then you regret. It's simply because of you that your parents' immune system goes down. Immune system goes down. And then the health shatters. It's all because of you. So therefore the point is that, see, the self-centered, how destructive that is. How destructive the self-centered attitude is. Likewise, self-grasping ignorance, how destructive that is. As long as we are under these two factors, two internal factors, we are never going to be happy. You may be the richest person on the earth. You may be the most politically powerful person on the earth. You may be the most successful business person on this earth. You will never be happy as long as you have these two demons inside us. So, the two demons, self-grasping and self-centered attitude, these two are there, and external factors are always there. The sound of misery is always, 24/7, the sound of miseries will come on you. The next question, how to deal with these two demons? Next question. For that matter too, self-grasping ignorance, this is ignorance, this is cognitive in nature, cognitively erroneous. And self-centered attitude, this is effectively erroneous. So self-centered, self-grasping ignorance, because it is cognitively erroneous, we need to cultivate the wisdom. Wisdom to see the reality. And self-centered attitude, because this is effectively erroneous, we need to cultivate the correct, the effective mind. As opposed to self-centered attitude, it should be other-cherishing mind. It should be the loving mind. It should be the compassionate mind. That is to be cultivated. So in other words, in your life, if you encourage yourself, if you take interest, if you imbibe the wisdom to see the wisdom to see the reality more closely, and if you imbibe the quality of embracing others with love and affection, if you treasure, if you value these two qualities, you are going to be the happiest person. You are rich, not rich. You are politically powerful, not powerful. You are aristocratic, not aristocratic. It doesn't matter. You are employer, you are employee. It doesn't matter. You're going to be the happiest person. Okay. The next question is how to then get rid of these two factors, internal factors. One, how to get rid of the ignorance. Number two, how to get rid of the self-centered attitude. Okay, in this connection, I'd like to also give you the idea that what we said was that Om, when we were explaining Om, the meaning of the Om, what I said was that this Om is constituted of three letters, A, U, Ma. And these three letters, they symbolize your body, speech, and mind, while we are still ordinary beings, and when we become fully enlightened, body, speech, mind. While we are still ordinary beings, like body, we spend almost like 99% of our time, resources, energy, everything is on this body and the speech. And yet this body is so vulnerable, so weak. So for example, let's say, suddenly I have, let's say that, just for example, say after this talk, after this class, I may go home and I may have a little bit of pain here or there. And then tomorrow I'll have a check-up and oh, it's cancer. We never know. We never know. Right? This is how weak our body is. And our speech, it is like extremely thorny. It easily hurts somebody easily. And our mind is extremely vulnerable. Okay. But these three are not you. Who are you then? This question. Who are you? What your body is, the manifestation of your mind. What your speech is coming from your mind. If your mind is very kind and gentle, the speech is going to be automatically very gentle and kind. If your mind is very rough and unkind, selfish, the speech is going to be extremely manipulative and very destructive. Okay, just for information. Sometimes my relatives, they call me, particularly there's one who could easily identify whether I just come out of my Buddhist practice or not, Buddhist meditation or not. Easily. Call, then I pick up my phone, just 1-2 sentences, he would say, or you just came from the Bodhisattva meditation. On the phone, would easily, and that's correct. Very correct. Sometimes, the Buddhist meditation is done in the morning, then maybe after a gap of like 6, 7, 8 hours, then talk, maybe sensing that it's not really, it's 4 hours on and on. The person will sense it. Okay, what I'm saying is that this is how a mind decides, what comes out of the mouth. Pleasant, unpleasant, all are decided by the mind. Now from this what you realize is that the body, speech and mind that we have, the body that we have is because of the nature of the mind of the past. How our thinking process of the past. And the speech is right now. And the mind of course is right now. Right? Okay, now with this, finally our mind decides. Who we are is decided by the mind. At the moment we see that I'm so weak. I'm not really good. I'm not really so kind. I'm not really so smart. This is what we think. But this is not who you are. This is not your real nature. What is your real nature, this question? What is your real nature? Who are you? What's your real nature? Right? The real nature is, let's say, water. In a very hot place, in a very hot time, say like 3-4 hours under the scorching sun. And you're so thirsty. And I take very dirty water from the ditch. Would I like to drink it? Huh? Wow, this girl wants to drink the dirty water. Very thirsty, very dirty water from the ditch. You want to drink it? No. Sanika, no. No. Now, this, why don't you want to drink it? Simple is very dirty. Now what I do is that I subject this water to purification process. The process of purification, like reverse osmosis, ultrafiltration. With these processes, I purify this. All the dirt's removed, all the filth removed. Now it becomes so clean. You want to drink it? Yes, all the water that we get, the bottled water that comes from the shop, from the shops, they are this, they are the same. They are just purified version. You want to drink it now? Okay, this is one part of the story. Don't forget the story. The second part of the story is that I have a, okay, what is this? Singing bowl. What's the material? Huh? Brass, let's say brass. Okay. I want this to be gold. I want this to be gold. Inside out, gold. And if you can make it gold, I'll give you 1,000 rupees. Right? Okay. So what do you need to do? At the most what you can do is that you can remove the brass. Remove the brass, then what happens to the singing bowl? Singing bowl will disappear. You're getting it? Okay. Instead of this brass becoming gold, the singing bowl will disappear. Whereas with the dirty water, instead of the water disappearing, the water becomes very clean. You're getting it? Do you see the difference? The water, by removing the dirt, instead of the water becoming water disappearing, the water becomes so clean. Whereas the brass, trying to make it gold, remove the brass particles, instead of the brass becoming gold, the whole brass disappears. Whole singing bowl disappears. Why? What's the difference? Anybody raise hands? Yes?
The nature of the water is pure, default nature. So the nature of
No. Just
nature of the water
this
is
water,
pure.
the nature is, the true nature of this water is very pure, whereas the true nature of this singing bowl is a brass. The true nature. When you remove the brass, you remove the true nature. When you remove the true nature, the object will disappear. Whereas you remove the dirt from the water, you will not remove the true nature. You are removing the adventitious nature. When you remove the adventitious nature, true nature will come out. What's the true nature? Purity. The pure water comes out. The good news is that our body, speech and mind, although they are so defiled, so vulnerable, but that is not your true nature. Your true nature of your mind is so pure. Just remove the dirts. Remove the mental dirts. The mental dirt of self-grasping ignorance, the cognitive error, and the affective error. Remove these two dirts, the mind becomes, the true nature comes out. What's the true nature of the mind? Totally pure. The purity, which is technically referred to as clear light. the clay-like mind will manifest. Clay-like mind will manifest. This is who you are. When this true nature, clay-like mind comes out, when this comes out, then the speech that comes out of this pure mind, the speech is so pleasant and so wise. And the body that you get out of this pure mind is not going to be like this, you know, the very gross body. It's going to be a very subtle body, which is freed of sickness, aging, and death. It does not have any room for cancer. It does not have any room for any limitations for the body. Our body, if you don't take shower for 1 or 2 days, it stinks. Do you agree with me? When young people, age younger ones is fine. Younger ones, like below 12, 13, is fine. You may not take shower for like 3, 4, 5 days till your body does not really stink. As you grow older, the body starts stinking. This is how body is. Whereas, if the clay-like mind that manifests, then the body that comes out of this clear mind will never stink. This body is forever fresh, is free from all forms of sickness, aging, death, cancer, and so forth. It's free from all these problems. Okay, this is who you are. This is your true nature. Okay, with this, the next question is, wow, that's amazing. If this is a true nature, and then now I've identified what, okay, let's say the light is water. Another example that I will give you is the gold. The gold, when you take gold, when you extract gold out of the gold mine, when you extract gold, then you get gold ore. Gold ore is nothing but gold mixed with the soil. Gold mixed with the soil. And for us, ordinary beings, we look at this, we say, what is this soil? Just dump it. But gold experts will not dump it. Gold experts say there's gold there. So our mind, even though we may be so selfish, we may be so short-tempered, selfish, greedy, and so forth, but this purity, the true nature of the mind, somebody who's expert in this true nature of mind will see that, no, this is so precious. Each one of us, we are so precious. Because you have the gold inside you. But the gold is not visible. Because why the gold is not visible in the gold ore? Because that is mixed with the soil, and the soil is obstructing the gold from glowing. Likewise, we have this seed of perfection within us, purity, the true nature, the purity. As Niraj said, that this purity inside us, each one of us, we have this purity inside. Why that's not visible? He said it's dirty, defilement is visible. Because this purity is mixed with the defilements. When mixed with defilements, then the defilements become visible and the purity will start glowing. And how do we know that this gold there? Remove the soil. Remove the soil, then the gold inside will start to glow. You don't have to do anything to bring the glow from outside. The gold inside will glow, start to glow. Likewise, remove the metal dirt, self-grasping, self-centered attitude, then the inside, the treasure inside, which is technically referred to as the dhaga, the garba, the essence of the purity, that will come out. That will come out. Okay, if this is what we know of ourselves, from this, I would suggest, and also inform you that knowing that you have this purity inside, this purity, say 1 kg diamond in the showroom, and 1 kg diamond in the ditch, which is more expensive? 1 kg diamond in the showroom, 1 kg diamond in the ditch, which is more expensive? Same? Yes. The diamond expert will say that you're about to throw this from the ditch. Oh, it's so dirty. About to throw this. The diamond expert will be so happy when you throw this. He picked up, clean this up, put it in the showroom. It becomes showroom diamond. There's no difference, right? Diamond in the ditch Just superficial, outside is dirty, inside is as pure as the one in the showroom. There's no difference. Likewise, our mind, however dirty our mind is, the true nature of mind is as pure as the Buddha's mind. There's no difference. The Buddha's mind is like the diamond in the showroom, and our mind is like the diamond in the ditch. You getting it? The diamond experts will not dump you, will treasure you. So therefore, we are like, in other words, each one of us, we are like the enlightened beings. Only thing is that this enlightenment, when mixed with the soil of the mental dirt of self-grasping and self-centered attitude, this enlightenment does not become manifest. How to make it manifest? Remove the dirt and they will shine. So our job is to remove the dirt. So therefore, never ever have a sense of self-hate. This self is so precious. Self is so precious. Never ever have a sense of self-hate. Many people, they say that I hate myself. I'm totally incompetent. I'm not good at anything. This is how many people describe themselves. This is where we're going wrong. Nobody can fail us. Only you can fail yourself. Only you. In this world, only you can fail yourself. Nobody else can fail you. How will you fail yourself? When you say that I am not good at anything, I hate myself. The moment you hate yourself, this is the greatest failure. If you know that you have a diamond inside, you are as precious as the Buddhas. You are as precious as the Jesus Christ. You are as precious as the Krishna and Prophet Muhammad and the Baha'u'llah and so forth. You are as precious as them. If you discover that you have this true nature inside, purity inside. If you realize this, then you will start loving yourself. Only if you love yourself, you are happy. Only if you are happy, you can export happiness to others. If you don't have gold, how can you export gold? If you don't have happiness to yourself, how can you make others happy? So therefore, it is so important that we should be happy ourselves. For that matter, how to be happy? When you know that I'm good at something, then you feel happy. You feel the worth of yourself. Then you feel the happiness. If you know that true nature of your mind is so pure, there's a diamond inside me. This diamond inside me and the Buddha's mind, there's no difference. Then you feel that I should not hate myself. This self is so precious. If you really want to hate yourself, if you really want to hate someone, you should hate the two demons inside. If you really want to hate somebody, you hate the internal factors. What are the internal factors? Self-grasping, ignorance, self-centered attitude. These are the two things. You are so precious. You remove these two demons and you become the full enlightened being. You can benefit all beings. You become like a shining star. You become like the sun. Why you are not a sun now? It's because you have been blocked by the cloud of the two demons. Remove the two clouds and the sun will shine in all 10 directions and reach out to every atom of the universe. Next question is how to get rid of these two demons. How to get rid of self-grasping ignorance and how to get rid of the self-centered attitude. Okay, this is where we have to put effort. With this in mind, okay, let us turn to the Sutra. Okay, we might have slightly different the page numbers. One book has it on page 61. It may be just one or two the variation of one or two pages. Page 61. Okay. CJ, page 61. Okay, did you all find this, the sutra? The Noble Mahayana Sutra, Tibetan analyzing. How many of you did not get this? If you have the book still, you do not get it? 57. Page 57. 57. Page 57 or page 61? Okay, now everybody got it? Page 57 or page 61? Okay, this is extremely, very brief, very short, at the same time extremely precious sutra. Okay, Noble Mahayana Sutra. Noble here refers to the Aryas. In Sanskrit, it is Arya, in Sanskrit, Arya. Arya means superior, superior. In what way superior? Superior in ways of seeing reality. Superior in ways of seeing reality. This is the Arya. Okay, Mahayana Sutra. Mahayana is a system which has the Maha is the goal, a Maha goal. Maha means great, a great goal, a great path, and the great path and the great realization, the reality. Realization of the reality greatly, and the great path and the great goal. And they also mention of the 7 Mahas, or 7 greatnesses. Okay, the great goal is not to seek personal liberation, personal freedom, but the freedom for all sentient beings. This is a Maha goal, Mahayana. And the path is the path of the 6 perfections and the 4 perfections. 6 perfections plus 4 perfections, total 10. Whereas those people who seek personal liberation, they don't practice these 10. So these 10, they are very comprehensive path. So the path is great, Maha. And then the reality that this system teaches is that the reality is the true truths. The true truths, and not just the true truths, it is vast array of the aspects. The vastness of the true truths is being taught by this the Mahayana system. So therefore it is known as the Mahayana. And Yana is the system or the vehicle. Sutra on dependent arising. Okay. On dependent arising. Dependent arising, or some translators translate it as dependent origination. Dependent origination. It's a matter of translation. In Sanskrit, it is pratit samutpad. Pratit samutpad. This is Sanskrit. In English, translated as dependent arising. In Tibetan, it is tenjung or tendel. In Tibetan. Okay. Homage to all Buddhism Bodhisattvas. Thus did I hear at one time, I'm reading the text, the Blessed One referring to the Buddha, was in the realm of the 32 gods. Okay. The 32 gods, the 33 gods. Whole samsara is divided into 3 groups. Whole samsara is divided into 3 groups: desire realm, form realm, and formless realm. Say those beings who are not enlightened, they have to take birth somewhere. The place where the beings take birth, there are only 3 places. They are known as the 3 realms. The first one is desire realm. Second one is form realm, F-O-R-M, form realm. And the third one is formless realm. 3 realms are there. These are only three places where we can take birth before we become enlightened. 3 realms: desire realm, formless realm. Now within desire realm, again there are 6 realms. 3 lower realms and the 3 higher realms. What are the 3 lower realms? Hungry Ghost realms, Hungry Ghost, Hell realm, and the Animal realm. Hungry Ghost, Hell, Hungry Ghost realm, Hell realm, and Animal realm. 3 realms. Then the 3 higher realms. They are the human realm, Deva Devi God realm, and the Asura, realm of the Asuras. Asuras, then the God realm, and the human realm. 3. Okay. Then within the God realm, one of which is known as the realm of the 33 gods. Within the God realm, again there are divisions. One of which is known as the realm of 33 gods. Okay. So the Buddha Shakyamuni was given to one time. The Buddha Shakyamuni ascended to the Deva realm, and he was given teaching there. The 33 gods, seated on the throne of the Indra. So Indra was the king. Indra, the king of that realm, and then the Indra was following the Buddha, And then Indra requested Buddha to please take the seat where he was sitting. So he seated on the throne of Indra. With him were great hearers. Hearers meaning Shravakas. Shravakas are those people, those beings who seek personal liberation. Okay, the beings who seek full liberation. Okay, let's say the beings who want to achieve liberation. The beings who seek liberation, there are two kinds. One who seeks liberation for oneself, and the other who seeks liberation for everyone. Two, you getting it? Those who seeks liberation for oneself, they are known as the Hinayana practitioners. Hinayana practitioners. And those who seek liberation for everyone, they are known as Mahayana practitioners. Two. Within the Hinayana practitioners, again there are two. Okay, those of us who are new, totally new, coming here for the first time, there are so many twos. Right, don't worry. So once you know these things once, and later on, we just repeat this over and over again, it becomes very easy. Those who seek personal liberation, again we can see that there are two kinds. One is Shravaka, and the other one is Pratyeka Buddhas. Shravaka, Shravaka. S-H-R-A-V-A-K-A, Shravaka.
Is it Charvakas or Shravakas?
Yes, Shravaka's.
Not Charvakas.
Not Charvakas. Charvakas is different. Not Charvakas. Shravaka's. S-H-R-A-W-A-K-A, Shravaka. And the other one is Pratyeka Buddhas. Pratyeka, P-R-A-T-A-Y-A, P-R-A-T-I-Y-A-K-A-B-U-D-D-H-A. Pratyeka Buddhas. It's not difficult. It's just a matter of, if you practice it, it becomes easy. Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas. So what the difference between these two? Pratyeka Buddhas, they are more intelligent. Pratyeka Buddhas, they are more intelligent as compared to the Shravakas. This is general description. Okay, I don't want to go into detail. So this is seeking personal liberation. Okay, what? Okay, so here, Shravakas. Shravakas in English, translate it as hearers. H-E-A, hearers, those who hear. You know why they are known as hearers? Hearers because, okay, now tell me, Shravakas or the hearers, are they interested to become Buddhahood, achieve Buddhahood, or they are interested to achieve personal liberation? They seek personal liberation. So, but they attend to the teaching of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. No, they attend the teaching of the Buddha. Right? They were attending the teaching of the Buddha. And Buddha, sometimes Buddha teach the minor teachings. So they were there, they listen, they hear the minor teachings, but they don't practice. They hear the minor teachings, and then they pass it down to the Bodhisattvas. Well, this is what I learned from the Buddha, pass it down. They hear and pass it down, they don't practice themselves. This is known as the hearers. Okay. Well, great hearers such as Venerable Ashvajit, Bodhisattva, Mahasattva such as Noble Maitreya, and so Buddha Shakyamuni was sitting on the throne of Indra, and then there were the hearers or the Shravakas and the Bodhisattvas. The Shravakas were the hearers such as Venerable Ashvajit, and Bodhisattvas such as Arya Maitreya, Noble Avalokiteshvara and Vajrapani, who were adorned with immeasurable precious qualities, as well as various gods such as the great Brahman. Brahman was also there, Brahman, who is the Lord of Saha world. Narayan, the great Ishvara. Sakhara, who is the chief of the gods. And Panchasika, who is the king of the Gandharvas. Okay, Gandharvas is another spirit world, the world of spirits. Gandharvas is again the beings of another class, known as Gandharvas. And this is interesting. Gandharvas, for example, let's say, if you keep your containers open like this, empty, open like this, instantly Gandharvas town can be formed here. Instantly. That the whole town can be instantly created. For us to create the towns, it takes 10, 20, 30, 40 years to gradually build up the town. But for Gandharvas, instantly, Gandharvas towns can be created. And then, so therefore, in the Tibetan tradition, we don't really keep the containers uncovered. We deliberately keep the containers covered. Because The moment you move this, Gandharva's town, whole town is destroyed. So this is the reason why in the Tibetan tradition we try to keep the containers closed or upside down like this when empty. One time my teacher, Venerable Geshe Dorji Damdul, how many of you know Sala Institute? Sala Institute, Dharamsala. Sala Institute. Okay, many of you know Sala Institute. So Sala Institute, before the Institute of Buddhist Dialectics first bought this land, my teacher, the principal of the institute, Venerable Geshe Dorji Damdul, a great Bodhisattva, no doubt, incredibly bright, very sharp, intelligent Bodhisattva. And his compassion is so profound. Okay, keep that aside. So this land was purchased, and before all this construction were done, and then he, with the senior students of the institute, he took them down to do some, say, puja, to make the land, say, if they should be spirits and so forth, to make friends with them, so that they don't cause harm on the new institute to be built. So that my teacher, what he said was that one time in the class, he said that where he was sitting, and all the other senior monks were there, on that new land, he turned towards the left. He knew that there were no towns, so there were no villages there on the left side. It was just an empty space. He knew that. He knew that already. But when he was doing the puja, he turns to the left. He saw a whole village there. Am I confused? Some kind of hallucination, some I'm being deluded. And he again turned there. Again the same village was there. So this is an example of Gandharva cities, Gandharva towns. Okay, so there are many stories about it. Keep that aside. King of the Panchasika, who is the king of the Gandharvas, they were all attending the teaching of the Buddha there. On that occasion, the Bodhisattva Master, the Avalokiteshvara, rose from his seat. So Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of compassion, he stood up. Having draped his upper robe over one shoulder, knelt down with his right knee on the peak of Mount Meru, his palms together. He then bowed towards the Blessed One, the Buddha, and addressed these words to the Buddha. Blessed One, these gods, and of course that is in the god realm of the 33, so there are so many gods attending the teaching of the Buddha. These gods really wish to build a stupa. These gods wish to build a stupa. Now that they are present in this entourage, they are here with us here, in front of you, please teach them the Dharma in such a way so that the merit of Brahma will increase. Merit of Brahma, meaning that, say, to take birth as a Brahma, you require tremendous amount of merit, without which you cannot really take birth as a Brahma. So for that matter, the merit of Brahma, enormous amount of merit, please teach them how to accumulate that amount of merit. Merit of Brahma will build the Dhamma in such a way that the merit of Brahma will increase, and the merit of monks, nuns, laymen, laywomen will increase much more than that of all types of beings in the world, of gods, Maras, Brahma, including renunciants and Brahmins. This is the request made by Avalokiteshvara. Okay, how many of you want to accumulate so much merit so that in future life you don't really have to bother about the miscellaneous problems? Raise hands. Okay. In fact, all the happiness that we see is the result of the merit accumulation. So therefore, the merit accumulation is so important. So now if you are interested, then we have to listen to what the Buddha is saying now. At this, the Blessed One spoke the verses of dependent arising. The verse which we read right now, which we recited together, Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava, Hetun Desham Tathagato, Hyavata, Desham Chayu Devata, Evam Vati Mashamane Soha. At this, the Blessed One spoke the verse of dependent arising. Edharma hetu prabhava, hetum desham tathagata, hevata, desham chayu nirodha, evam vadima shamana swaha. In English, all phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation causes as well as taught by the great seer. Okay, the meanings are quickly again once more explain this. Although I explained it already, for those who came later, for your purpose, Ye Dharma, these phenomena, Hetu, cause, Prabhava, arise. These phenomena arise from causes. These phenomena, particularly the phenomena of miseries, which we dislike, and the phenomena of happiness, which we seek, they arise from the causes. And Hetum Tesham Tathagato Hyavata. Hetum, plural form of causes, Hetum. Tesham, these. Tathagato, the Buddha. Hyavata, said or taught. The noun total. Hetum Tesham Tathagato Hyavata. These causes are taught by the Tathagata, taught by the Buddha. Tesham Chayo Nirota, Tesham Chayo, these, referring to these causes of the suffering, particular cause of suffering, ignorance, self-grasping ignorance, and self-centered attitude. Nirota, cessation. Cessation meaning bring an end to these causes. Evam, thus, Vati, taught, Mahashamana, the great saint. The bringing an end to these causes is taught by the great saint. Ye Svaha. Svaha means is established thus. So Svaha is the one which concludes almost most of the mantras in Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism, Sikhism. Okay. So the total meaning is all phenomena arise from the causes. The causes are indicated by the Buddha. The cessation causes as well is taught by the great seer. This is the meaning. So the message from this is that if we don't want suffering, then we have to track the causes of the suffering. Track the cause of suffering and rectify the cause. For example, if there is a poisonous tree growing, and from the leaves, the wind blows through the leaves, and then it creates body rashes, skin rashes. So you know that this is coming from because of the wind blowing through the poisonous leaves. What will you do? You remove the leaves. You pluck the leaves. You pluck the leaves. In 1 week, minimal leaves will grow. You pluck like 100 leaves, then in 1 week, 400, 500 new leaves will grow. This is not so wise. Somebody who is wiser, what will you do? You chop you chop from the top. You chop from the top, then you'll be free for the next few months. Right? Few months, oh, now my skin rash, they're going away, you're very happy. Then even more leaves will grow after a few months. What will you do? Okay, cover your hand, right? And it's so hot in Bangalore in April and June. No, April and May, it's so hot. It sweats inside, and the skin rash is there. Now what will you do? Jump to the tree again for the next few months. Again you're afraid. Tell me.
Make sure your tree doesn't grow again.
Say it again.
Make sure that the tree doesn't grow again.
How?
Remove it or remove from the root.
Remove from the root. Very good. Okay. Right? This don't cover this. Right? Cover this. For how many years you will cover this? Right? Okay. Okay, then don't chop it again. No point, again it will grow. What will you do? Remove from the root. You can identify the root, remove the root. Then you are free. You don't have to cover this, you don't have to chop. Every now and then, you don't have to do that. So, identify the cause and eradicate. Then your problems will come to an end completely. That is the long-term measure. Long-term measure, you get it to the root, Okay. So all phenomena arise for that matter, you have to identify the root. Root of all the problems is, what we learned is ignorance. Ignorance. Okay. Let's say that this is very important. This is very important. Okay, this we'll do tomorrow. It's already 8 o'clock. We'll stop here. Yeah, we'll stop here. Page 31. Mantra, Harshad Mantra. Yatha Om Gati Gati Aragati Arasangati Bodhi Svatyata Om Gati Gati Aragati Arasangati Bodhi Svatyata Om Gati Gati Aragati Arasangati Bodhi Svatyata Om Gati Gati Aragati Arasangati Bodhi Svatyata. Okay, let's turn to page 288. Dedication prayers. Page 288. Page 288. Okay, can you start variation in the, what's the other number? 278. 278 or 288. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. Just in Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. Just as brave Manjushri summoned about the two realized things as they are, also I dedicate all these plans in the best way that I may follow their perfect example. I dedicate all these rules of virtue with the direction praise is the best by all the Buddhas who appeared in the 3 times, so that I might perform the whole noble goods of his deeds. May the Supreme Bodhicaryavatara that has not erased the lasting grow, and may that which is arrested not diminish but increase forevermore. As long as space remains, as long as centuries remain, until then I too remain to dispel the mysteries of the world. Due to the merits of these virtuous actions, may we attain the spirit of Guru Buddha, and in all ways without exception, even in the enlightened state. I dedicate the married task towards the realization of the deeds and prayers of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 3 times, and to the upholding the Dharma and teaching and realizations. May I in all lives through the force of this marriage, never separate from the whole business of Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all stages of life, and Bodhicitta perfect in the 2 stages. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, until I reach full enlightenment. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate a mind full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the Jubal Gem, I confess negatively individually, I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings, I hold the blessings of Buddha in my heart. By the power of practicing and supplication to you, may all be free from sickness, poverty, and conflicts. May Dharma and auspiciousness proliferate in all the places where we abide. The power of the union and its compassion is loosely explained by the portrayal of both the Dharma and the beings of the snowland. When the lotus holder Tenzin Gyatso, we supplicate with that you wish to fulfill spontaneously. May the operations of evil thoughts and deeds of the negative forces of humans and non-humans who harbor malice with perverted prayers against the teachings of the Buddhas be totally vanquished and overpowered. In all my lives, never separate from perfect Gurus, we enjoy the manifested Dharma by completing qualities and stages in the past, and I could attain the study of Vajradhara. Throughout my future lifetimes, we will always be guided by the Manjushri and be able to uphold the Dharma in general and the teachings of the Venerable Origination in particular, even in the course of my life. Okay, good night.